we always stayed at Competition Park at whether you was in the NFL, college of pros, or in high school, we had to get it from the muscle. So the competitiveness that we had, we was ready. The boys club prepared us for that. Steve and Willie Shaw, we call him Stanky out there in Silver Springs.
Mm-hmm.
They done took my motorcycle, dog, and mudded the motorcycle out, jumping, oil, gas. I come back, front light busted out, everything. Went straight to find him.
You better believe
Dog, what you did? Cuz, what's up with my motorcycle? We going at Miami against the world, or it's Miami and then you got the rest of Florida.
Yeah.
That do something to me. Went to go, remember I told you, I took him to Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Pep was, and then got popular at UCF. Like, he the man. University of Culpeper football standing in the middle of the Citrus Bowl with the post crowd. Ron Zook came out to the house. Like I said, I was number 3 coming out of Gatorade Magazine, All-State. And I think about it all the time. That's one of them things that mean you got to live with certain things in life. Life is about choices. I'm getting ready to come back and open up a showcase agency so I can, as guys that I know that were dogs, to be able to fight for them to get an extra opportunity. 2% body fat, if any, yoked up, hadn't worked out. And guess what his first workout that we gave him, very first time, he worked out in front of the New England Patriots.
About the love, let's talk about communication. Let's talk about the love, let's talk about communication. Oh yeah, talk about the love, let's talk about communication. Let's talk about the love, let's talk about communication. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, William Robinson of TLC Talk Love and Communication, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Tyrone Rhem, the one and only Ocala finest, Vanguard Knight, Oakland Raider CEO of Rank Up Athletics, ladies and gentlemen. He gonna give us some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and let us know how he became the man that he is today, ladies and gentlemen. And without further ado, let's give this young man a special round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
What it is, champ?
What's up, brother?
Everything good?
Hey, I'm blessed.
How you ride over was, man?
Hey, I prayed about it, and I let the Lord take me all the way to Ocala.
Okay, straight from Tampa, Florida, huh?
Yes, sir.
Representing who?
Ocala.
Ocala to the final. Okay,
all day.
okay.
I don't care where I'm at. I'm Ocala's.
Okay. Okay, tell my audience a little bit about yourself, sir.
Well, basically, born and raised in Ocala, Florida. Actually, I was born in Shands Hospital in Gainesville. I guess it's probably why I'm a Gator to this day. But born and raised Ocala, Florida, by way of Silver Springs. So, you know, I had the childhood in the city. I had the city of Ocala, across town, and I had Silver Springs.
Okay, so let's take it back to the childhood, man. What was it like growing up? You grew up in what area of Ocala?
Anybody know what Joe's store was right there?
Oh, yeah, Joe's Barbecue.
I'm right in front of it.
Okay.
Right at that house, sitting right in front of it. The mosquito truck used to come through.
The mosquito truck used to come through everywhere.
Man.
So what was it like growing up in Ocala?
I mean, it was the best of both worlds. I mean, from when we got a chance to, you know, go to the boys club, you know, you kind of, it wasn't the boys and girls club at that time, but it was an opportunity to be out there with my cousins and, you know, out there getting it instead of being in the house. There wasn't no such thing as being in the house. We had to get out there and get it, whether it was kickball, marbles, cars, whatever it was.
You ain't never got that cardboard and slid down the bridge.
Come on now. It was all about jumping ramps. What you know about jumping ramps with a bike?
Jumping the ramp, baby, with the dirt bike.
Come on.
Sometimes we'll be out there with the 10 speed.
10 speed with the big wheels, all of it.
Thank the Lord we got children on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I tell you what, man, so, you know, growing up in Ocala, you know what I'm saying, you go to middle school, you venture off into high school. You know, the name Rhem is very prominent here in Ocala, Florida. You know, you have a very big family.
Huge.
You know, it's a lot of sports, a lot of athletes in the Rhem line of family. You know, I think Steve kicked it off. So talk to us.
Steve didn't kick it off.
Steve didn't kick it off?
Mm-mm.
Who it was?
Bruce McDonald.
Bruce McDonald.
New York Mets, Vanguard High School.
Okay. And what is he to you, sir?
That's my first cousin.
Okay.
And at our house in Silver Springs, which I called it the halfway house, everybody had a chance to stay in that house. Bruce McDonald, Kerman Williams, you name it. You know, everybody stayed out there in the house through my dad and my mom. Had that experience. Yeah. So I had 5 sisters. I'm the only boy out of 5.
And what was that like, you know, living in the house with, so you got, that's 6 women. That's mom and 5 sisters. What was it like?
Very protective. Very protective. My dad had his first wife. I had my 3 other sisters. I got Shan, Terry, and Sonia by my dad's first wife. And then I came in a place like in the middle. It was just me, Kim, and Courtney. So it was like 2 generations.
So as far as your mom kids, you're the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
And then you had 2 sisters.
And I got Kim Culpepper and Courtney Rhem.
Okay, so but did the other 3 girls live with you guys?
Never did live.
Never did. So
but I got a chance to be with them lately. Once I was born, they took me everywhere. Vanguard games to the parade. My daddy was like the #1 ambassador for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they had the popsicle jersey. So, you know, he took my sisters out and showed them the ropes of that. You know, the mall used to be right beside the Sombrero Stadium.
Right.
And they used to take me. I used to go. I remember it vividly.
So, you know, having the older sisters, you know, when you start getting up in age, you know, you 13, 14, you start, you know, smelling up little girls. How was your sisters? Were they protective of you, you know, from that role?
Oh, man, I couldn't date nobody.
They running them away from that.
Listen, they looking in any female that I dated, they looking through their purses, trying to find out information, which I didn't know about it. And then they'll tell my mama, Tyrone talking to somebody that's older than him, that mama woo woo woo.
Yeah.
And like for sure, my sister Kim, she was like my glue. She didn't want me to go nowhere. Well, she wanted to be with me. But she didn't realize the reason why I didn't want her to go, because I knew my homeboys were gonna try to shoot, and I was gonna keep me from having to fade my homeboys.
So basically, you became your older sisters to Kim. The same way your older sisters was doing you tried to
Right. So I think they was thinking I was trying to be malicious. So I would torture my sisters. You know, I remember with Kim, we had them big old spiders out there in Silver Springs out there, right?
Yeah.
So we had to kill a couple of them. So one was dead on the floor. So just to keep her from aggravating me, I got her, pinned her down and made her touch the spiders. And my sister Kim scarred me up so bad and clawed me up, but that scar was like Wolverine. Boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So good experience, man. I was very protective of my sisters. I love my sisters. I love my homeboys too, but I wasn't stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but at the end of the...
You know, that's one thing about being a man. You know, men know how men think, just as your older sister knew how women thought.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So your ulterior motive, and by them being women, they understood how women think and what they up to.
Correct.
But you know, you had your own agenda at the time. You understand what I'm saying?
Own agenda, man.
Yeah. And you know that as a male, you know, especially when we teenagers, you know what your homeboys' agendas are. Because, you know, we talking about it. We chopping it
all
up.
Day.
You know, if name come off the list, hey, wrong, but guess what, boy? You know what I'm saying? You already know.
Right.
So what was that? So enter Dante Culpepper. Okay, you know, you're a little older than Pep.
Right.
You know, football team, your sister, you know. How was that in the beginning?
I mean, it was a little tough. I was protective a little bit, but it's the fact that we knew who Pep was, you know, growing up. And when I did start knowing my little sister started liking boys and stuff like that, you know, it was tough. Me and Pep, that's my brother, man. I love him, man. We had our little rounds, you know. I had to let him know I'm still big bro. You know, at the end of the day, I love you, but we got our little qualms or whatever from time to time, but it was cool, though. It's my bro.
You know, but like, you know, it's almost, it's strange because let's say you my partner, you're my best friend. So for you to be my best friend is something likewise, like-minded. It's something similar about me that I see in you that causes you to be my best friend. And if this is my sister, I mean, it's almost like, why wouldn't I want her to be with you? I mean,
true.
I love you. You know what I'm saying? Why would, you know what I'm saying? And then you're I used to tell, I had a friend,
Right.
and well, I got a friend, and his sister was younger, but you know, as she grew, you know, she's, you know, of age now,
Right.
and you know, she kind of made a couple passes. You know, I'm like, what's on? But then I went to thinking, well, damn, she is grown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I had enough respect. I went to my partner. I said, hey man, you know, I was over there the other day, you know, such and such. You know what I'm saying?
Let him know.
And he was like, no. You know what I mean? So at first I'm a little offended. I'm like, well, dang, bro, you act like I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you know, I'm gonna treat her right. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, bro, nah.
Right.
So I let it go. I'm gonna respect my partner because my friendship means more than, you know, this situation. You know, so as time went on, you know, she kept on. She was persistent.
Right.
So by her being persistent, I'm thinking about, you know, hey. So I go back to him, and I ask him again. I'm like, hey man, you know, such and such keep, you know what I mean?
Right.
Ain't dog, you know what I mean? So
Right.
he yells at me. You know, it's the first time when he like, go ahead, bro. I said no, you know, whatever. So I'm like, well, bro, you act like I'm like, she got kids. You know what I mean? She got a baby.
Right. Right.
Nigga, only me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm kind of getting a little defense cause and he said, man, do what you want to do. You grown, whatever. You grown, do it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But I didn't do it because my relationship with my partner meant more than, you know,
Absolutely, bro.
you know, that right there. And to me, it was different. So, and you know, from his perspective, he knew what I was. You know, I'm bad business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't, she gonna have some luxuries, but boy, it's gonna be some mind control going on. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that was the right choice.
Mr.
You understand what I'm
Cerebral.
saying? Yeah. And I respect him for that. You know what I mean?
I mean, what helped me was, even though I had all the sisters, I had Steve Rhem was like, that's my first cousin, but also like a brother. So once again, it wasn't no problem as far as masculinity or alphaness, you know, as far as being an alpha, because there was always guys around the house. There was always older guys, you know, from back in the day, me being a youngster, I learned a lot, you know, whether it was from, I mean, Steve and I, man, we used to have fun, but we used to fight too. So it was one of them cousins / brother childhoods, bro.
You know, you brought up the name Steve Rhem. What's the single most important lesson you've learned from this guy over the years?
Well, I grew up with it every day. I grew up with him where he would wake up in the morning and read the Ocala Star Banner in middle school from the front to the back every day. To, you know, when we got a God-given talent, when God touched you with something, you know, we all touched in different ways, but that bloodline still run heavy. And I'm in his back pocket. So we at the boys club, we killing it. You know, he was a little bit older, but anything we did from the Olympics to punt, pass, and kick to whatever, we killing it.
Yeah. So, you know, was it pressure on you? You know, after he graduated from high school, you know, you go to Vanguard High School, you play the same position he played with. Did you feel pressure, you know, being the younger cousin, the little bro to Steve Rhem, carrying that name?
I embraced it because we always stayed at Competition Park, whether you was in the NFL, college or pros, or in high school, we had to get it from the muscle. So the competitiveness that we had, we was ready. The boys club prepared us for that.
Yeah, you might be out there catching ball for the Saints, but when you come here, bro, line that junk up.
What you talking about? You got to get it. You know about it.
How many of them battles you actually won now? All right now.
What? Out of me and Steve?
Yeah.
I mean, he was big cuz. He was big, bro.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm swinging.
You better believe it.
I'm a leader.
But I remember my mama told me when I was a little boy, she said, son, whatever you do, you swing back. His arm ain't no longer yours. You know what I'm saying? And that took me a long way. His arm ain't no longer in yours, son. Swing back.
Listen, let me tell you a story. So I was at baseball practice, and my daddy got me a motorcycle for Christmas or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to baseball practice. Steve and Willie Shaw, we call him Stanky out there in Silver Springs.
Mm-hmm.
They done took my motorcycle, dog, and mudded the motorcycle out, jumping, oil, gas. I come back, front light busted out, everything. Went straight to find him.
You better believe
Dog,
it.
what you did? Cuz, what's up with my motorcycle? Bam, bam, bam. We going at it right there off the rip. So that's just, it was up and down, but it was just, it was a learning experience. That's that big brother, big cuz stuff.
Yeah.
Man. You know?
Yeah. And, you know, we all need that growing up, you know what I mean? It's like next man up. That's why the transition was easy for you.
I embraced it.
It's next man up.
I embraced it.
You know what I mean?
I
In
really
this
did.
case, next rim up.
I embraced it.
Huh?
I knew what time it was. When I ended up getting moved up from, I never even played freshman. I went, Coach Jansen picked me, I went straight to varsity as a freshman. Never played not one down as a freshman.
Let me ask you something. Do you believe that being the last name Rhem played a part in that?
What? Meant everything. Because, once again, Bruce McDonald set the standard. Even though he's a McDonald, that's a Rhem.
Yeah.
Coming from Bradenton, Florida. To see him and Kermit Williams throwing almost 100 miles an hour in high school and get drafted to the Mets and to the Red Sox, me catching the balls out there in the field to get a free bag of popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
and to see him sign, and see him with Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden and them, to see my cousin, that spoke a lot of volume. He set the bar high.
You know, to me, you know, I am a Wildcat.
Correct.
You know what I mean? The man that I am today in the community, you know, it's people take it different when I take a stance. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, my diploma is green.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Right.
you know, we mature. It's much love for everyone. But in the end, I'm a Wildcat. You know what I'm saying? Straight
At the
up.
end of the day.
And to me, over at Vanguard, it has always been that way. Like you say, McDonald set the standard. And then come Steve, and then come you, and then come Kenny. It's like you get a little bit more favoritism. And you know, when we look deep into that, the men that we are today, when we think about the days of old, you know, some people understand the breeding process a little more than others. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And you was bred for certain things, and certain bloodlines do certain things.
Absolutely.
And
Right.
that's true to this day. You know what I mean? It's just the bottom line is when you see your son, you looking for you and your son.
Oh, yeah. Something.
You looking for mama and your son. You know, I got 3 kids from 3 different mothers.
Right.
I'm definitely present in each one of them, but I can see their mothers in all of them.
Absolutely.
The difference in the 3 of them is their mothers. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? You know what I mean? And with Vanguard, if like Johnny Smith, then came Jack Smith.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Then came Terry. You know, you had Kiki, Brian DeWeese.
Absolutely.
You know, this bloodline. And you know, with all due respect, some of them was more talented than others.
Oh, yeah.
But for whatever reason, Yancey wouldn't take them off the field. I mean, you had one only weighing 180 pounds playing deep nose guard.
Yeah. for
Because
real.
he a Smith.
Terry. Yep.
We can't take him off the field. He's a Smith.
That name meant something.
That name meant
It
something.
meant a lot.
And do you believe that? I think that's relevance. You know what I'm saying?
Well, to be honest with you, you can see the talent level. Like I said, the ball was set high. Steve knew what he had to do after we saw Bruce get drafted. He did what he had to do. I knew I was coming up next. I wasn't trying to be neither one of them because the name spoke for itself on the back of that jersey. But at the end of the day, I knew it was a high standard. I knew I couldn't drop the ball. I knew I couldn't come in any less, but I had to make my own name for myself. Better yet, knowing the 2 blue chip athletes that we had coming before me, I was used to it though because we did this every day. We worked out every day. We played with each other. We understood each other. So they set the ball high. And that's the thing about what's not going on today. It was about the program. From MCYFL to the Little League football, you knew if a high school coach spoke to you when you're playing Little League, Coach Yancey come and speak to you at the junior nights. Man, Coach Yancey said something to me, or Coach Simmons, or, you know what I'm saying, Coach Daly or somebody, that made you feel good.
Yeah.
So it was about the program from Little League all the way up. It was a standard.
And see, you know, speaking of bloodline, you know, you got a son.
Yep.
He got it?
No. He does. He does. I don't know what happened after COVID. Before that, I trained athletes. I trained people. He worked out every single day. First time he touched the football, playing football, he scored one for 50 yards. Some way, I don't know what happened. But I will say this, whatever he does, he got to do it well. And not going to live through them like that.
Right. You know, a lot of times, and in the end, that's hard because we being the men. Like, I got a son. My son is the complete. I got a homosexual son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My only son.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that, you know, that's hard for us, men like us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, because we, you know, back then it was a different level of passion for football. You know, you have to bleed. It's like you could smell it. I remember, you know, being a linebacker, you could smell the play. You know what I'm saying? It's like when that man say a hike, everything is silent. It's like it's silent. And then once the play over, you can hear everything.
Right,
you understand what I'm saying? But when that ball snap, you hear nothing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Biker Boy. You remember Biker Boy?
Oh, yeah.
You know, when he get down there by that
tunnel vision, bro.
That's it, baby.
Yep.
You know, and being the focused person, you know, and sometimes I try to tell the young men now, appreciate these games because these last couple games may be the last time you ever put on a helmet.
Absolutely.
You'll find yourself 50 years old sitting down talking about football like me and my partners.
That's what's going to happen.
You understand what I'm saying? And you take a man like Pep, who played at the highest level, and, you know, you see him now, you know, and just sometimes we don't understand. At one point, this man was one of the best, arguably the best in the world.
At one time.
In the world, Craig.
Yeah, in the world.
You know what I'm saying? And we look at it as, oh, that's Dante. This man one of the best in the world at the hardest position in all of sports to play and made it look easy.
But being from Ocala, Florida, man, we critics. So, you know, I remember when I took him with me to Tallahassee to meet Amp Lee and my roommate, Quali Rolak, and Amp Lee. And we met Amp when we was up in Kentucky. So I remember Amp came up in the mountains, brand new Land Rover, brought us shoes, some clothes. Me and my roommate, Ethan Brown, we cooked him some lasagna and everything. We fed Amp. So we got Amp here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
What? You know what that did for us up them Florida boys up there in Kentucky?
Ooh.
So
was Amp Lee still at Florida State at the time?
No, Amp was he was already in NFL. In the league, yeah. He was in the league. 49ers, I think Green Bay. And that's one of the smoothest dead legs I've ever seen in my life.
Man, Amp, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you something. Amp Lee and Eric Daly. See, Eric Daly was about a 6'5", 6'6".
He was 6'6".
Guard. I mean, he doing the Amp Lee. He coming down with the basketball, hitting you with that. I ain't never seen it. You know what I mean? He was my favorite
footwork
basketball player. Like back then, you know, you got to think his senior year. You got Eric Daly, Adam Floyd, Steve Rhem, Alvin Braddock,
Willie Jacobs.
You talking about animals? Vanguard, you got animals cross. Now you know Steve could fly and do all that stuff, but Daly, to me, Eric Daly,
anything in the perimeter, he killing.
With now basketball coming down.
Anything in the perimeter, he gonna eat. But I told him the other day, I said, boy, little Junior got a little bit more monster in him than you do. He was a little bit more pretty boy finesse.
His son? Or you talking about
Daly? His daddy
Desmond.
was. No, I'm talking about Eric Daly Jr. that's playing at UCLA right now.
Okay.
His son, which I saw him when he was a baby, when he was born. And he's a combination of finesse and that monster.
Yeah.
You know, Ocala is the original dunk city.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know that, or if anybody didn't know that, Ocala is the original dunk city. I remember when my son, Daddy LaVar's, dunked on Moss at the little celebrity basketball game. I don't know if you was here then when we had Pep had the little celebrity basketball weekend. We had the celebrity weekend.
Yeah, I missed that.
Ocala was, you thought the Ocala was the ATL.
You know what though? A lot of people don't understand this, but if you go to college, military, prison, whatever, where you get a whole group of people from different places,
right?
Ocala's just different.
We different, bro.
352. It's like we different. And the sad part about it is most of the time we may not even get along. But we just different. When it comes to getting it, when it comes from getting it from the muscle, when it comes from thinking, when it comes for demanding respect, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying?
All of it.
We just stand out amongst men. We men amongst men. You
I was
know what
talking
mean?
to one of my homeboys the other night because he's a Miami fan. You know, I don't like him. I don't like Florida State either. But, you know, I'm going to salute him during this time. And then, because we realistically, we all Florida teams and Florida people pull for each other to lose. I don't know why it's like that, but it's like that. Yeah. So, you know, I'm telling my homeboy, like, man, look, y'all talking about Miami this, Miami that. You know, because Miami got that perception on it's Miami against the world or it's Miami and then you got the rest of Florida.
Yeah.
That do something to me.
Yeah.
I want to go down there and get it from to show you what we got in 352.
You better believe it.
We make up our own, we got our own trends, our own culture, we different.
Own swag.
We got our own swag.
I made a point to someone, right? You take, you know, they call us country. But somehow or another, everybody come to Ocala and wind up in jail. See, you from New York City, you from Chicago, you from Detroit, you from Miami, and you can't come here and survive.
Thank you, this game.
To me, it's the opposite. See, if you're in New York and you get pulled over with a half ounce of weed, the police just throw it out, tell you, keep it and smoke it and let you go.
Right.
See, you going to jail here every time.
Getting it from the muscle.
Every time. So therefore, you got to be more on point. Because we are from this hillbilly town and the people in command want to send you up that road. You ain't trying to go in that county jail right here. Ain't no pizzas coming to you. Ain't no TV.
I tell all my homeboys of everybody, per capita, Ocala could have been one of the biggest cities like Orlando if the city of commerce would have let a lot of these businesses come here.
Yeah.
You got to think, we had 6 Gun Territory, Silver Springs, Wild Waters. That's why they film the Tarzan movies. That's why we got all these monkeys around here now, because in 1940s, they brought the monkeys here for the movies and they migrated. Yeah. Now we got thousands.
Breeding. Yeah.
So Ocala is you got to come through Ocala. From the dope game, I'm not bragging about that, but I'm saying from that to the sports to entertainment, from the horses. Come on, man.
Let me tell you something. If you traveling, you coming from Miami, but you see Ocala signs.
You got to come through.
Look at, you know, when you traveling from state to state, from city to city, they're gonna show they're gonna show the main places on them signs.
I'm telling you.
You ain't gonna see 100 miles to Bellevue, 100 miles to Micanopy.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That thing goes straight for the Ocala, baby.
Listen, I used to listen to Pony and, you know, Slick Vic.
Yeah.
Lock Jaw, Big Ace, when they go to calling out them towns and them cities, but you got to have Ocala in there.
You know, and speaking, you know, you was talking about the mentality of Miami, and rightfully so, especially when it comes to sports, because they produce a lot of athletes.
Facts.
You know, we have a team, you know, Vanguard is the cream of the crop here. You know what I mean? Don Nelson won a championship this year. Mm-hmm. The FIA, you know what I'm saying? FRC, is it?
I think
championship. Florida International Invitation, you know what I'm saying?
Invitation, right.
You know, and they won that, and they beat a Miami team, North Miami Beach. You know what I'm saying? The point is, they beat a team from the 305.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's something that haven't been most of the time when Miami come here. Can you imagine you living in Miami? You don't been to Miami before.
Yeah.
That's what your lifestyle is.
Correct.
Now, you get on the bus, you travel here, you get off on 40. See, if you get off on 200, you might be like, okay, they got a little something here, a little restaurant. You get off on 27.
Yo. Hey, you said something then, though.
But think about it now.
No, I think about it all the time.
You get off on 27, they looking, what the world we in? What the world?
Right.
Man, we finna beat these people. And that's the mindset they have. We finna beat these people behind. Man, who are these people? Hillbilly, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no tall buildings, no nothing. 3-story buildings, 3 stories, the tallest thing around here.
Yeah.
They finna beat us. And it hurts me, like you say, it offends me. The mindset when they come down here, but they be getting away with that junk, man. That's why I get so mad and I get in my feelings and my emotions about certain things.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like they better. You understand what I'm saying?
Man,
and that's what be making me mad. It's like, man, they're like they just coming like we ain't nothing.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of like a scare tactic. Miami in the building. Well, we drink the same water y'all drink from the state of Florida.
But what's crazy is even our coaches, our fans, we got to show up because Miami coming. Why you ain't showing up because we playing Lake Well?
Absolutely.
Why you ain't showing up because we playing North Marion? I don't know about no Donnell and Shorten. We don't care about no doggone Miami, man.
Hey, that's my other family out there in Chapman. I used to coach for Donnell, and Bobby James gave me a job. Orly Jackson, Steve Powell, we ran that out there, and it meant a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm red and blue all day, but they're a part of me. After when I played ball, that's where I ended up at with out there in Donnell.
You say you red and blue, but you got that black and red mixed in there too, huh?
They know it. They know about Coach Rhem.
Okay, Coach Rhem. So let's talk about that. Okay, so you graduated from high school. But first of all, let's back up. We talking about the bloodlines. Okay, you got a son, and you just recently lost your father. And I didn't realize, because I didn't know your father. And you put a picture up with you beside him. I'm like, God darn, I didn't realize how much you look like your dad.
Chapter 2, bro.
I'm talking about, now I see where you get your little build from, back in the day, we had our little build. I got to work at mine. I went from skinny to little muscular, and, to Big Pete. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
You always, you come out the womb a little muscle. And then when I see your dad, you can see it.
Yep.
You can see the little, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I had a homeboy, he got a set of twins, and his twins come straight out the doggone pie, looking like little fullbacks. You know what I'm saying? They already built up, they already a little muscular, a little chiseled already.
Right.
And some people have to work hard at it, like we talking about genetics. So, let's talk about your dad. Let's talk about Mr. Chappie.
Well, it's so ironic that today is his birthday.
Wow.
Heavenly birthday. And I didn't even think about that when we said we were going to do the podcast and we chose the date. We just, we chose the date and not realizing that for the new year, 2026, I'm here talking about dad. Today is his birthday, his 83rd birthday. So it means a lot.
Today is my grandfather's birthday.
Wow.
January the 2nd. Happy heavenly birthday to granddaddy too.
Got something in common.
In the past year, man, it been, I commend you, you know what I mean, to be here and to continually, sometime when you constantly helping others, you don't have time to reflect on Tyrone.
Yep.
It's
been tough, bro. Because
it's always like you can't heal yourself because I got to go help John. I got to go help Bill. And, and you understand the responsibility that you have. You the head man at Rank Up Athletics. You know what I'm saying? Without you, it don't go.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? You're the face of it. And, and when that responsibility, how do you navigate that, when you got dates and timeline because when death come and things like that, we don't have no knowledge of it. We know it comes out of nowhere, and you still have deadlines with your business. Something that your dad was very proud of you for.
Well, it started with him. He started out building swimming pools, one of the best in-ground swimming pool constructors in the state of Florida. I saw him started off with J&J Pools for Jesse and my Uncle Jack. Crazy about all his brothers, all his whole family. He's a family man, but they started the pool business. Then it merged on to Econolux Pools. So as a JIT, I got a chance to sit in the middle to hear all the stories, the good, the bad, and the ugly, laughing, to arguments, to whatever. But I actually saw my dad work being a diverse person in the community. I saw him when he would go with Scott Armstrong's and the Boutwell's construction to see my dad doing what they're doing with mixing the mud to the concrete, the tile. I saw him with the big checkbook from what was the bank? SunTrust?
SunTrust.
I remember that big old checkbook to see my dad as a boss write his brothers or whomever paychecks. I remember the arguments. And when he got, we would laugh in that truck, but when 10 toes hit that ground, man, my dad didn't know who I was. He didn't know it was strictly business. Yeah. And his motto was, I will never come back to do this job ever again. And my dad only had a certain amount of education. So the wisdom and what God gave my dad to know how to do all those measurements, he was a genius. Yeah. He built swimming pool for Liberace. He built the pool for Wrigley Spearmint Gum, the people who own that. He built pools for Tracy McGrady. When you see something of that stature of him being, for one, he loved baseball, he loved football. So he had the sports background. So when you ask about how do I manage this and that, I saw my dad being a diverse person. There wasn't no color because realistically it started from my grandma, Daisy. Like the Boys Club donated my grandma a van and she fed Ocala. She clothed Ocala. So the principles and the morals from that and my grandfather Pop, Buster Rhem, Pop was like 6'6". My grandma she was a warrior. She had 14 kids. It was 16, but 2 died when they were young. It's 14 kids. 1994, my grandma passed away. In the paper, it had 102 grandkids, 68 grand, and 23 great-great-grand. That was in 94. We're in 2026.
The Rhem's deep.
What?
Let me ask you something. Dad is always Superman.
Yes,
you know
sir.
What I'm saying? Dad is Superman, and ain't no such thing as kryptonite when it come to dad.
Absolutely.
So what did it do for you as an individual, as a young man, watching your dad be an entrepreneur, watching your dad conduct himself the way he did, and watch even yourself understanding, they ain't daddy, I'm your son, whatever. But like you said, when we get out this truck, your name getting on that checkbook, you gonna work like everybody else. Ain't no favoritism.
He didn't play my daddy was a loving man, family man, godly man. When it comes to business, that's where he taught me to know how to separate the business from the pleasure. You and I can be my dog, and we out there we on that job site, that's what you're gonna get. Just like with you and what you do, you're a professional. We have to be I learned a lot of that from my parents and my mom. I love my mom dearly. And she had to put up with a lot of in that hot sun all day long, and deal with the frustrations, this, that, and the third. But, man, we had a good life. We were blessed to have a good life, man.
90% of the time when you have a successful man, there's always a strong, strong woman in the shadows. And that's what your mom was for your dad.
She was, man.
You have one of those on your team also, correct?
Yes, sir. The wifey? Man, listen, that's my soulmate, man. Like, you'd be better off going to Pakistan or Afghanistan than lose your life over there than fool with me about mine, bro. Because I've been with that one I've been on ever since she's been 17 years old. And Kentucky.
What is it what lesson have she taught you that has made you a better man?
to listen to her sometimes, listening to a woman, listen to your significant other when we so used to being alphas or you're going to do it this way, you're going to do it my way. Hey, she stand her ground and, you know, you need that. We need that accountability. We don't need nobody to just, you know, try to be more alpha than us, but I grew up with aunties, man, that was so strong. I don't know how those men stood with my aunts.
You know, my wife always say, you ain't married no punk.
Man.
Meaning, you know what I mean, I get down down and dirty, I do what gotta be done, you know, I ain't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
my baby, man, she's a beautiful soul, beautiful woman, thick and thin. I've been through it all. And we still here. I thank God we still here after all these years. And she always got my back and supports me in anything that I do. As well as yourself.
And how important is that?
That's the one's got your back when nobody else has your back, besides my mama.
You know, I made a statement. I was interviewing a young lady, and I made a statement that for a woman to be married to you outside of the bedroom, you're no different than the same way than y'all son.
That makes sense.
Think about it. What does she do for him? You take the bedroom away, and the relationship is no different.
Absolutely. I get a chance to see the time she and I had all the years with no kids to how she treats my twin.
Yeah.
Like king and a straight prince.
She said king.
And it's cool because I'm looking at me grow up all over again. That's how my daddy looked at all his grandkids. When he looked at Quest, he looking at me all over again. So that's that. I get a chance to see the best of both worlds, and I get to see, and he saw me in him, and then I get to see him as well.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, you can start to see when it's baby this, baby that, but then when they get older, y'all don't want us to really get on their neck because then, you know, a woman like a lioness, they're going to stand in the paint about their kids. Don't care what it is.
You know, that's a fine line. You know, every man different. You know, every man run his household different.
Right.
You know, you'll be surprised some phone calls I receive. And, you know, I get a phone call sometime and this particular individual, they got a son. Him and his wife been together like 18, 19 years. And they got a son. And when he chastises his son, verbally, just hold firm on him, talk a little rough at him, you know, the mom will intervene, you know, and come to his rescue. To me, that ain't rough. To me, you finna get the same thing he get. Who you think you're talking to? Now, I understand you the lion. You're a lioness.
Listen, bro.
But ain't no Mufasa in the house. You understand what I'm saying?
I had to learn because my wife came from a household. She stayed with her dad in Detroit for a while, but then it was all her mom and her auntie. So she was raised a lot from her parents. Mm-hmm. So I come from a household, Chap was the head honcho, the general.
Yeah, the roaches don't move no more when daddy speak.
What?
Dogs start barking and everything else.
So I saw that. She came from a household with strong women.
Yeah.
So it was, in the beginning, boy, it was Clash of the Titans because you're going to do whoop, whoop, whoop. But that was a part when you asked about what is it that I had to have learned from her. I had to learn to grow, to listen to your wife, listen to your significant other because they can see things and know things that we don't see and don't know. So at the end of the day, she's got my back. I know God put in my life for a reason.
You know, and so a lot of times, women are smarter than men, intellectual wise. Like, you know, book smart, things like that. Women are most of the time they're smarter than us. And you know, we are very basic. Men are very basic. If it don't, cause we mind our business.
Absolutely.
If it don't concern me, it don't. You know, I don't care about knowing it. I don't need to know it. It don't make no difference. You know, but when it's something, you know, they're a little more curious. You know, they want to find out this and that. They kind of, you know, poke around in different things. You
Correct.
know, and listening to your wife is so important because they can see things that we can't see. And understanding that our wives is our partners.
That was my homie before anything.
See, but some people are together and they bicker And sometimes you feel like, they're the opponent, but when that's truly your friend, you know what I mean? If I come up to you and tell you something, say, Tyrone, listen, man, this the deal. It happened like this.
Okay.
You gonna go and relay it back just like you was there.
Correct.
I told you I saw it, man. I'm looking you in your face. I tell you I saw it. That's what happened.
Right.
Now, so why can't we do that when it's our partner? I was just looking at a little Christmas movie, and the people had separated. The man and the woman had separated. She filed for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
She got the house and all of that, but he didn't have to pay her child support because she basically took everything and all that. And she got laid off from her job.
Mm-hmm.
And when she got laid off, she was going through struggles, but her pride wouldn't accept nothing from him. She was very prideful. And sometimes, how much can pride get in the way of success?
Well, first of all, you got to know, since we're speaking on relationships, that was my friend and my road dog before anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The good, the bad, and the ugly. We had to grow, though. Because like I said, once I found out that I got this strong sister, and which I was used to, wasn't intimidated about it.
Yeah.
But it was my way or the highway.
It's almost like a turn on. It's like, that's what I love about you, that you ain't gonna lay down. You know what I mean?
You think about it. If you find a easy woman and you can pray like that,
you don't mash the gas on.
But you don't have nothing. You got somebody that's gonna make you keep you accountable and is not gonna give themselves up like that. You respect it.
And if she'll stand up to you, you'll stand up to whoever come against
listen, my wife the same today, tomorrow is no different. That's the same person from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to be successful, you got to learn. We had to learn. I had to learn. Like, man, listen to your wife, man. You trying to do this. But then there's a point too, the kindness for a weakness come into play. As we get older, we just, okay, baby.
Yeah.
Keep the peace. Yeah. And being sincere, like you said, we basically stay out the way. But I think sometimes that thing feel like that thing get a little soft.
It's funny you say that.
I gotta come out to that silverback, had to come out every now and then. Like, don't get it twisted now.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I'm choosing
keeping the peace.
I got this thing with my wife where I say, let's say, we hate to be wrong. And let's say, they getting on you, but you wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I don't say nothing back, I'm acknowledging, I'm saying I'm sorry, you right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, when I don't say nothing, it's like she'll keep saying it. And I sit there, I take it for a little bit. Then, like you say, the line, I got to be like, what, you going to keep talking in circles?
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? You going to keep saying it till I get mad. You know what I'm saying? So let's let it be, you know what I mean?
I already know what you're talking about. A lot of men don't want to admit it, but it is what it is.
They be right.
But we need to keep it accountable because they're not your mama, but they almost like the next thing they're going to keep you accountable like your mama.
Because if anything happened to you, whose responsibility it is?
The wifey.
It's her responsibility. She's going to be there.
Yeah.
Everybody going to run off. Even as an adult, like when I fell and broke my leg, and man, I had to go and live in a nursing home, man.
Wow.
Because I couldn't. The hospital won't send you home if you're not able to take care of yourself because they're held liable.
Correct.
And when I broke my leg, I didn't have no balance, so I couldn't walk on a crutch. I couldn't get up the steps to my house. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I had to go to a nursing home. You understand? A nursing home to get rehab. You understand what I'm saying? And I only had been home from prison, 4 months? With no family tearing that, I done been going 18 years. With no family tearing that nursing home down to come in there and see me. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
The people ain't beating that door down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. Do you think that a woman or a man could love their spouse without respect?
Nah. You gotta have respect. That's the number one principle. If you don't respect each other, what do you have? Your woman sitting there cussing you out like a dog in front of everybody, that's not respect. Now, anything behind closed doors, it's fair game for whatever. They ain't nobody's business, but you got to at least have enough respect and decency to know that, okay, we'll deal with this issue at another time. I'm not going to shine on each other. I don't deal with that. I don't fool with that.
And, you know, the bottom line, just like I tell, like when I interview women, me and you didn't decide the pecking order. God did.
Correct.
It's not my fault that God made me a man and you a woman.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
He made that order. He set it up the way it is, and that's the bottom line. And with that being said, okay, so let's talk about your college career. You know what I mean? What college did you go to and what path did you take afterwards?
I could have went anywhere in the country. And see, back in the day when we used to get the letters from the schools.
Let me do it over because
Okay.
I ain't switched the camera on me.
That's what I kind of figured that. That's why I said check it.
No, it was on me.
But it wasn't on me.
I didn't switch it back. You know what I'm saying? When you started talking. Okay, so.
Boy, you crazy.
It be funny, like, man, like when we know each other from children and stuff, man, then we grow up. Like, who I seen, Jamie Gilmore, the daddy.
That's bruh.
And I hadn't seen him in a while. You know, I don't talk to him a few times. I seen him at like the my partner. We got a mutual friend. You know, seen him at the party and stuff. But when I seen him, I'm like, damn, look at Jamie, man. You know what I mean? Like, dang, man.
Jamie,
you know what I mean?
Jamie was mean, boy.
And I told that joke. I said, man, I don't remember you being calling me like this here, man. I don't like them looking. You know what I'm saying? And like with my neck. They take some stuff out.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
so
like
you
a little
lose.
shorter.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Or they can gain and add something to make you.
Yeah. But, you know, it ain't never the same, like, you know, your posture and stuff. You know, it ain't. Okay, listen to me. Okay, so let's talk about your college career. And, you know, so where did you go to college at?
I went to college up in Kentucky, Union University. It used to be Union College, but now it's Union University. Like I was telling you earlier, I could have went anywhere in the country. We used to get the letters. When you see them letters come in your mail or when your coaches give you that mail coming from, I had 2, not exaggerating, garbage bags full of letters.
Now, is that the Rhem talking to you or you really felt like you could have went anywhere in the country?
I could have went anywhere in the country.
And why did you decide to go where you went at?
Academics and procrastination. GPA-wise, I was good. I was close to 3.0, 2.85, close to 3, fluctuating cumulative, but I procrastinated on taking my test.
Right.
And I tell kids still to this day, I was the number 3 all-state receiver coming out of the state of Florida, all-state Gator Bait magazine from the University of Florida. And then Michigan was my second choice. Fab 5 had a lot to do with it. I love the colors.
Yeah.
I don't know how I was going to deal with that cold, but I would have found a way. But I love that it was out of Florida, Michigan, that I really narrowed it down to where I wanted to go to school.
You know, a lot of people don't understand, like, the big schools back then. You know, because I remember being in practice at Michigan, Nebraska was good back then.
Yes, sir.
Notre Dame. You know, these are the schools that was coming to watch. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, they're not, some of them not as prominent. You know, they legendary, but now they may not be as good as they were back then, but they was dominant back then. And to see, the difference in us is you had size too.
I was like 190 playing receiver, almost close to 200 pounds playing receiver.
Right.
So it was a mismatch for me.
With the height.
With the height, speed, and with the hands.
Do you remember me and your legendary wide receiver DB matchup at Competition Park? Remember that?
Yeah. I told you. We used to go out there and get it out there in the field. We used to go get that work.
And you know, me being me, you know, I ain't never played DB. I played a little strong safety. But you know me, you know, just like you say, you around. Like, me being me, nigga line that junk up. You know what I'm saying?
You talk big trash.
Yeah, big trash.
You talk big trash now. And it didn't matter what position. You felt like you had to play QB, you was going to try to play it.
Yeah, I mean,
so
you got
listen, man.
You know, anything that was man to man, if it's me against you, I love me. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think you have to have that to be successful in anything in life. You know, if you don't believe in you, who else gonna believe in you? If you didn't believe you could make it, Why should someone take a chance on you? You understand what I'm saying?
Man, listen, the ball was set not only from with my cousins, the ball was set high in Ocala, period. Travis Mays to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's legendary in Ocala. You go to the Kingdom of the Sun, you go, all the games were packed. Even we used to try to go to y'all little Matchbox, little basketball gym over there. We couldn't pack as many.
Hold on, wait.
Y'all couldn't pack them in. We could like we did.
Really, y'all gym wasn't no bigger. Y'all gym was popular. Haley, and y'all had a lot of success.
Our gym was, I think, it's just a little bit bigger. We can hold a little bit more because you had to get your tickets early to go there to Forest. Am I lying?
Well, that's because one thing about Forest, even like Vanguard too in sports too, but Forest gonna pack it. Your ups gonna fill it up. You know what I'm saying?
Trust. There ain't nothing but love and respect. We all bros, but when it come down to it, bro, like that's just what it was around here,
man,
bro.
The rivalry. People don't understand. You know what Pep told me? We don't been on the show, the TLC Sports Marion County. We don't been going we about 8 weeks into it.
Right.
So, Pep gonna always take the high road. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Pep is, if I had, man, for him to be who he is, he's a very humble person, man.
He is.
If I had to say one word that described Dante, is humble. That's a very humble man. And thank God he is humble. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, that came from two. We used to stay on that joke. We called him Big Jit for a reason. So we used to keep him accountable.
Yeah.
Straight up. 80, anybody from Ocala playing at the alt every Saturday or whatever, he had to learn that. Like, I'll tell one story. That's my bro. So, as a matter of fact, we was talking about that. So when I went to go, remember I told you I took him to Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Pep got popular at UCF. Like, he the man. University of Culpeper football standing in the middle of the Citrus Bowl with the post. Proud of him. Always been proud. But bruh kind of went to feeling himself a little bit. And me being a little bit more old school and being a little bit older, I say, hey, dog, tighten up, bro. You're getting a little too big for your britches, bro. Mm-hmm. So we kind of got into it just a little bit. Big bro, little bro stuff, right?
Yeah. We
kind of got into a little, they were amped them or whatever. But you know what, man? That's part of being an alpha, being a competitive, you know what I'm saying? But bro, real respectful, very humble, We were talking about, certain athletes wouldn't sign people's autographs, stuff like he ain't nothing like that, versus some other people we know. I ain't gonna call them out there in the league that's real nasty type of people. But, the community and the people make you who you are. So you can't forget where you come from. So he definitely, that was one thing that I was helping him instill, like, bro, don't ever forget where you come from. And he know what time it is, bro. Bro, good dude.
We was talking about the rivalry and as the show went on, as the weeks, KP my best friend.
Okay.
That's my ace king, you know what I'm saying? And as, so me and KP relationship on air is different. We gonna bite at each other, but we secure in who we are and what we are. Pep, as the weeks went on, Pep went to, that thing went to the dynamic, everybody was kind of like the jelly, like it should be. So Pep say, we talking about the Vanguard and Forest thing. Pep say, Pete, I ain't like you.
At all.
I ain't like you, Pete. He was like, he said, you straight now. I like you
at
now.
All.
But I ain't like you, man. You went to Forest.
At all. That's what listen, man. God bless her soul. My dog Brian Ellis. And Brian we laugh at this all the time. So we get Vanguard get ready to play y'all. So me and B1, where you saw me, you saw him.
Yeah.
I don't know who was at a barbershop somewhere. We ran into Brian Edwards' mama because it's game week. I heard y'all gonna hurt my baby, and knowing deep inside, but we coming for the juggler,
trying to hurt him,
like
every hit,
like it was that serious, man. But that's what we miss. That's what a lot of these jits don't have, and we just gotta accept it. We want that still to continue. We just trying to steal that dog into the youngsters nowadays, man. And we took that very seriously, man.
Man, I interviewed David Lancaster and Mr. Boutwell,
okay,
the father.
The father.
And, so they played in the first Vanguard and Forest game.
Wow.
And they sitting there talking like it was yesterday. Remember the first play after halftime? I mean, I'm like, how
That's
can these
crazy.
guys 50 years ago? These guys played 50 years ago.
Yeah, they locked in.
And I mean, so it was, for our generation, how we had it, it was even worse for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I mean? It's just amazing, man. Just the rivalry and the passion,
Because
man.
it was, like you said, like, if you want to go to boxing, Jack Johnson, the adversity he had to go through and the testicles he had to withstand it, they had a law to where
you can,
you know what I'm saying?
So that means he was happy for one of them to get in the ring. He was fighting for a whole nation.
That was exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it was what? And it was chonked out and grilled up like he was from the crib too, with the goals in his mouth. That's somebody. That's somebody I would have loved to have met. Like, that's huge.
If you could have dinner with anyone that's dead or alive, who would it be?
Got to be my daddy, man. Unless we're talking about a celebrity. Why? My daddy.
Ain't no who more popular than Superman, huh?
Nobody, dog, but God. God's number one.
That's right. I think that, when we think about athletes and we think about people, what's one thing about me? Like, I don't hold nobody in regards over the other. Like, as we're gonna have a segment called AMA where you get to ask me anything, and they be like, well, who's your most important interview? And it's the one I'm sitting in front of at the time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't hold nobody in regards over the other.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Nobody's more important than William Robinson.
There it is.
I mean, no matter who you is, I'd rather be me. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, so
that's what's wrong with the world now. Is too many people want to be. You got to look for authenticity. We are who we are. I'm who I am. Steve Rhem is Steve Rhem.
Yeah.
I'm Tyrone Rhem. Looked up to bruh. Always did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Learned a lot from, but at the same time, I got to get out there and get it from the muscle.
You'll find out sometime that the people that you look up to actually admire you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It can be that.
A lot of times the people you look up to, they admire certain things in you. And you wonder why, but dang, why he so hard and why he hating on me? He's such and such. Why he hating on me?
My cousin Bruce McDonald, man, Bruce is so humble, bro, to the point to where he played with the Mets. Mm-hmm. You got to dig in prior to try to even know what he's done. He don't acknowledge. Yeah. Like, if you know, you know. If you don't.
Right.
And he called me Big Cuz. Probably literally, but that's my big cousin. You know what I'm saying? So, but he called it's vice versa. Big Cuz, you Big Cuz, bro. Yeah. But he's so humble, you would never know it. But great athlete. I
noticed, the people that I've interviewed that's successful, that has made it to certain levels, the Cole Peppers, the Clint Harts, the Chad Brocks. They all have certain characteristics that's the same. Mm-hmm. To be successful, it's like certain characteristics that all these people possess. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a whole lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now, Cole Pepper special.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't seen nothing like him. Cole Pepper different. You know what I mean? We all could say, well, we was good. Or, even yourself, you made it to the league. But
I got a taste of it.
Pep is special.
I got a taste of it.
Pep different. And and a lot of times as athlete, I remember I got a friend that's from Miami, but he lived up here as an adult. Me and him friends here in Ocala. Mm-hmm. And me and him used to talk about the all-time Miami teams against the all-time Ocala teams. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, you crazy. Man, we got such. And I'm arguing with this man dead serious about Ocala.
All day.
Dead serious.
All day.
In hindsight, them people are smashed. You know what I'm saying? People got a whole roster of Hall of Famers.
But we going to create our own lane, though, and stand in the paint. We're going to play them.
They're going to have to win, and they're going to have to beat us. You know what I mean? That's I saw him interview Bynum. J.B. Bynum, head coach for Darnell.
That was one of my students.
That's right. And he told me, he said, You know, he ain't from Missouri, but he from the Show Me State.
Come on, man.
Basically, you got a 5-star cornerback out there. You got to show me you a 5-star cornerback. He said, now I throw the ball out there and you make a spectacular play. You showed me and I go on the other side. But you ain't finna make me change my playbook just because on paper it say you a 5-star. You understand what I'm saying?
Listen, man, Donnell in Florida, that's a Walt's Nest athletes, bro. Like, from Ernie Mills, you meet Ernie, laid back, cool, the epitome word humble, flip-flops, toe-up tank top, the whole nine. You wouldn't have known he played in the league all those years, but to have had the coach Stanley Jackson, the steamer, to Roberto Terrell, to Bynum, to all of them out there, even coaching with Coach Kevin Fagan, played with the 49ers and played in Miami. You know, it was an honor. The movie Jeepers Creepers was filmed out there doing when I was out there.
Jeep, what's the song? How the song go?
Come on, you know how it goes.
No, I don't
you
know
sing
how it
better
go.
than me.
No, how it go?
Jeepers Creepers, you know it.
Where'd you get
Listen, they ended up giving the school anywhere from $225,000, $250,000, and that was a low budget movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to travel that road with that truck flying on that straightaway. I used to drive that every day.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a detour. But athlete-wise, man, those guys, them little cats there, man, I know they on the outskirts. They Ocala, they Marion County, but them dudes stand on their own. And I respect them little cats out there, man.
You know, to me, you know, even when we played, you know, back then we used to have real jamborees.
Come on, man.
Like, real jamboree. And, you know, and Donnell would come. You know, it wasn't no, you know,
Bobby Robinson.
It wasn't no respect for that. You know, we know, we gonna smash them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how it was.
But that ain't how they felt, though. I mean, I know it was realistic, but
how they felt or what happened to them. You know, them cats wasn't playing back then. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to tell you.
The whole thing was that fourth quarter, that Vanguard and Forest.
Oh yeah,
straight up. That's what the people come to see.
It's going
down. What I mean, people ain't all that other Mickey Mouse stuff, the Lake Where, all that North Man, all that stuff ain't matter. But really, outside of Vanguard and Forest, that doggone North Marion, man.
Listen,
them dudes was hands on. Like them dudes was out there literally in the field. Their families had farms, and them dudes literally was more hands on than we were. We was more
knock your head off.
Yeah,
tall head, them old heads back in the day, but they straight killers. And I respect them. Now also,
a tall head. You talking about a wildcat now? I'm thinking about half a head.
No, you ain't talking about half.
I'm talking about half.
Yeah, half a head.
Yeah.
Half a head and half dead. They must have got that name from the penitentiary, from the movie Penitentiary, called them half a head.
You know, we gonna have to, man. One day we gonna have to get on there and chop it up and have a all-time greatest Forest starting lineup and an all-time greatest Vanguard lineup.
Listen, man. Y'all had, by far, a high school, college offense and defensive lineman, bro.
Yeah.
Like nobody.
But y'all got the skill players.
We had the skill set, but I'm just letting y'all know, Forest High School, Vic Tyson, and man, come on, man.
Truck.
Come on, bro.
Bear.
Monsters.
But see, well, Vanguard, the demographic, nobody's gonna have more athletes than Vanguard. It ain't athletic wise, player for player, no one's gonna out athlete Vanguard.
Right.
Just the way that the school zones were. And back then you only could go to school where you played at.
Right.
Where you lived at. Right. So there was no school hopping like they do now. Nobody had more talent than Vanguard player for player, because in our minds anyway, because it's everybody we grew up with. Everybody you ever known in your life went to Vanguard.
Listen, one person I want to give a shout to, man, and respect, played at Lakewell High School.
Dover McAllister?
Oh, that's my dog. Dover, we used to go ahead and try. Dover was that guy.
T.R. Rember?
T.R. Rember was gas. Daryl Shelton, bro.
Daryl Shelton.
Hands down should have been in the league.
Derek Lake.
I'm just pointing out.
Lake Weller had a few,
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to leave them out.
Yeah,
I'm just letting you know them boys that deal.
That North, listen, I've never lost to North Marion. Every year we played them, we always won by 3 points. 9-6, and 3-0. So it's always a dogfight. North Man was always monster. I think what made Forest, back then we had a little more athletes than they have now.
Yeah.
You know, because we got Parkside, we got Airport Road.
Yeah, plenty.
But it was a very good mixture. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and some may consider it controversial, but
do you
think it's a difference in coaching white athletes and black athletes?
Well, it's kind of biased in a sense because the blacks make up the majority. So at the end of the day, if you find you a Ricky Hodges or, one of them, I mean, that's kind of like us in a sense.
Dominant in the role.
What?
But we're not saying from an athletic standpoint. We're saying the ability to teach them, to coach them.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, every athlete, as far as color, you don't want to put the color barrier in it. If you're an athlete, you're just an athlete. You can play it no matter what color at the end of the day, even though we're the majority in most instances or most cases on teams. But it's a little different moral-wise because a lot of brothers coaches are father figures to a lot of brothers. So therefore, most of our white players or whatever, they come from structure. The culture's different. A lot of us ain't come from nothing.
And see, and that's my point. Like, when me coaching out the Forest, I remember my first year when I'm finna start coaching out to the high school. Mm-hmm. I actually sat down and talked to Yancey. Mm-hmm. That's when like Tony Wilkerson, DP them, you know what I mean? I'm finna go out there. So I went and talked to Yancey. Phil Yancey.
Okay.
And so I actually talked to him, you know what I'm saying? And went out there and sat down and had a little meeting or whatever, and we gonna get back or whatever. But then when I went to Forest, back then, you know how it is. That was my first time ever going in that. Well, as a freshman, I went in there during the spring, but back there in his office, you don't get to go.
You felt that presence in there, didn't you?
I actually turned my stomach a little bit.
You felt that fire in there. You looked at the Super Night board too, didn't you? I know you did.
Means nothing. The names up there, if some of the names up there, if they made Super Night, it was easy to make Super Night.
Listen, man. Coach Yancey ran a program. We felt like.
Hold on, wait now. Now you know weightlifting. Y'all ain't never
I won state in my weight class 198.
Y'all ain't never dominated no weightlifting when it comes to the Wildcats. Now, come on now.
I represented that red and blue. I won 198 2 years in a row in state.
What's your max was?
At the time, 315.
What weight class?
198. Press.
Yeah, you was a little bigger than me. Cause I'm like 185, 190.
You out there with Sonny Rhem, Chappie Rhem, slinging blocks in mud and digging holes. Then you go on season throwing watermelons, and then you got 2 of days. What you mean? I had to get it. Yeah, power cleaner. We epitome of power clean.
But as a program, see, that was the edge. See, if you ever met Simmons?
Oh yeah.
Simmons different than Yancey.
Totally different.
Yancey is like Miami Vice. Got a little swag. Yancey, a little more. Plus, even just he's a Yancey. Enough said. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Simmons more
grab you by your face, my ass to headbutt you if he had to.
Real life, for real. You know what I mean? Tell mom and daddy when he out here on this field, I'm telling him what to do. You wait till he get home for you tell him. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, I heard Coach Simmons, man, and I love that interview you had with Coach Simmons and Tony and Brian. Mm-hmm. Carlos Genlock, that's my dog.
Yeah.
Carlos had blown tore his ACL like a year or so before that. He back in business, so we on kickoff return. I heard Coach Simmons, blow out his other doggone knee, blow it out. So I know where you're coming from as far as his mentality.
The mentality. And see, and I believe that a team take on the personality of the head coach. And that's why, we kids, so, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what Yancey mean to you. You had your dad in your life, but this man the coach. You know what I'm saying? This man was an extension of Chappie. for 4 years of your life. You know what I mean? So it's life lessons you do right now, you pass on to your son that you learned from Yancey. You know, it's a different type of authority.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? And
it speaks volume, man. The character you learn a lot from your coaches. I had a great relationship with Coach Cass, Coach Saplinski, my receiver coach, Coach Grace back in the day.
What you know about Coach Gilman?
Come on, dog.
Uh-huh.
You know I know about Coach. What you know about it? You ain't never get a chance to meet Coach Grace did back in the day.
Coach Grace, the little dumpy one?
No. We're talking about big old black dude. Like, you ain't never meet him.
No.
See, that's when Johnny Smith and all that was playing, and Sweet.
Yeah, Sweet.
I used to be I was around all of that.
Yeah.
We absorbed that. Whether you went to Forest or not, whether we ain't like y'all or not, we respect.
Yeah.
I'm going to give an athlete their props,
because it's your rivalry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
ain't number love, though.
It's your opponent. It's kind of like G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to know your opponent. We clearly knew who was the opponent.
Like
you understand what I'm saying?
Like I was telling you, excuse me for cutting y'all, like I was telling you earlier. So me and my wife, when we went out to the class reunion, the Pep class reunion, we ended up at Waffle House. And the Forest boys sitting in there. So look, love and respect. We dapping up. We bros. What's happening, bro? You know, hugging them there. Antoine Long, Duck.
Yeah.
I say, baby.
Donald.
I say, here go my bros, man. These my bros, but these the other boys I was telling you about in that green and gold. I say, them boys say, oh, man, like, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
To the grave, baby.
What? They on that. It's real, dog.
It's crazy, man.
No one understands it.
They wouldn't understand it, man.
We can talk about it to the grave, bro.
But it's like you say, man. It's all love and like it's special, really, man. You didn't get the boys club experience, bro. Because at the end of the day, everybody that came through the club, it kept us off the streets for a while and keep them from getting in trouble. See, well, I went to the boys. I went to the one that was over there, behind Magnolia, like way down there, like that's the original. Yeah. I would go from time to time or whatever. But you know, out there in the quarters, we got our own. You know what I'm saying?
We got nothing but $1, and you're gonna be good.
We got the shop. You know what I'm saying? We had our own thing there. You know what I'm saying?
My point was for Ocala, you knew who was going where. And who was going to be the superstars.
Even when you in middle school, when you in elementary school, even like for us going to Howard, like to us, man, you go to Osceola. You know what I'm saying? It's like we just competitive. You know, my father lives in New Jersey, and you know his lifelong partner, she always say to me, she gets on me one-on-one because she feel like I compete. Everything is a competition. You compete against your father. You know, you don't do that. Let him win. He's your father. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? No, just because he's like, I mean, I'm not gonna disrespect him.
Nah.
But just because you daddy don't make you right. You know what I'm saying?
You see the meme that was on IG when the daddy was trying to do the pull-ups, show his son how to do the pull-ups on the standard, like I think you know those little pull-up bars you can put up in the house. So daddy was, all right, son, I'm getting ready. Let me show you how to do this thing.
Yeah.
So dad, we got a couple of them. He was struggling a little bit, but he was getting them in. So, all right, it's your turn. Son got up there with the chewing. Daddy was looking like, man, don't ask me to do nothing else again for you, man.
That's how it is, man. So you go to college. So right out of college, so you play your college career. You don't go directly to the league.
Let me go back. When we were talking about the grades and GPA, the reason how I ended up in Kentucky. Like I said, I had a GPA. Back then, really, realistically, we didn't apply ourselves as we should have in the classroom. I can't speak for everybody. I give a shout out to my dog, Big Nunn. Big Nunn was a scholar. You know, he came from a background education with Mr. Nunn, N.H. Jones.
The great Sean Nunn.
Big Sean Nunn, Big Gator. and
Boo.
Gator. And then Stephen Bourne, one of my top dog quarterbacks, went to Boston College. So kudos to them. But procrastination is a killer.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it this time. Nah, I'm going to wait a little bit. Now, I got all these schools with the letters, everybody coming in. You got the grades. Had they taken the test yet? Coach Yancey. No, he hadn't taken it. So by the time I took the test, Ron Zook came out to the house. Like I said, I was number 3 coming out of Gatorade Magazine, All-State. And I had to, they passed. But Florida was the only one that wanted to wait and say, hey, we're going to give you this X amount of time. We're going to hold your scholarship. If your test scores come back and you pass, you're a Gator. My test scores came back 2 weeks later after the fact, and they gave my scholarship to somebody else. It was a done deal. So getting up with Clarence, speaking of North Marion, got up with Clarence Mackey. God bless his soul, one of the bros, a dog, one of the best running backs I've ever seen in my life. Kevin Bradshaw to Tommy Oates. Tommy Oates ran a 4.19 for the CFL coming from up there at Union. He was one of the top guys we looked up. That's how we ended up there in Kentucky. Wasn't thinking about it. Brent Levan, Brian Levan, we all from Ocala, we went up there. And thinking about transferring, we were either if I was gonna transfer, it was gonna be at Eastern Kentucky, EKU, and I had an opportunity to come back and play for UCF. And Pep called, was like, Coach Khrushchev, we want you, because they had just senior receiver Todd Cleveland, God bless his soul. He was a dog.
Yeah,
he was a monster. So Pep was like, bruh, well, we got to get you down to UCF. So me, being a private college and the school at the time, I was going to lose all my credits. I had already did 2 years. Now, academically, ain't nobody trying to really stay in school all those years. But I made the choice to stay, which I think if I should have left.
Man, you got the great Dante Culpepper throwing about with favoritism.
Listen, bro. I think about it all the time. That's one of them things that means you got to live with certain things in life. Life is about choices. You get what I'm saying? So from college, I ended up having an opportunity to work out with the first team, the San Diego Chargers. I worked out for Bobby Beathard, the Hall of Fame general manager of all times in Sarasota, Florida, at Longboat Key. This is when Pep decided to go to UCF his senior year. I said, bro, I need you to come throw this thing for me. You know me better than anybody. On private workout. So they didn't know Pep was coming to throw for me. And General Manager said, well, I'll be damned. Dante Culpepper, you're going back to senior year to UCF. We would have took you 10 times over Ryan Leaf. Pep put his head down.
Second pick.
He would have been the first number 1 pick. Ryan Leaf was the number 1 pick.
Yeah, they switched. No, Peyton Manning was the number 1 pick.
Well, he was number 2 then.
Yeah, he was number 2.
But Bobby Belton told me and Pep and I said, boy, we would have took you 10 times over Ryan Leaf. But by that time, Pep had already went. So I had worked out for them, killed it, and then I got to give a shout to Rudy Jacobs, man. Rudy Jacobs is really monumental here in Ocala. Statistically, analytically, knew everybody, know everybody's. I mean, he helped Steve get in, after Steve got out of college and stuff like that, Steve working at J.C. Penney's. And Rudy got him a shot with the CFL with Saskatchewan and then worked out for the Saints, and the rest is history. Rudy had something to do as well. I ended up finding my agent, Doc Daniels. Doc Daniels was like, God rest his soul, like 6'8", old school, around the Rudy Ray Moore era. He also was, he played ball with Al Davis, the great Al Davis. So I ended up getting him being my agent for Pro Stars Management. Also the financial advisor by the name of Bruce. And that's how I ended up getting the look as well with the Oakland Raiders. So all along, when the draft came up, I'm thinking I'm going to San Diego first because that's who I worked out for. Oakland got my tape and film through that, so I had a second option.
Mm-hmm. And that, so and how was that experience? Okay, so walk me through. Okay, you got the offer from Oakland. Okay, so Oakland say, okay, well, come on down. You got your plane ticket. You on the plane. What's your thoughts?
Well, the main thing is you watching the draft all 2-3 days, and you're waiting by the phone. I was in Kentucky, in Middlesboro, Kentucky. It was a big flood where my wife lives. Like it's like in a crater in the mountains. So she got stuck over to my sister-in-law house and was flooded because the draft, this is the day that we might get a call. Mm-hmm. So I'm at my mother-in-law's house, and then she finally got a ride somewhere with some guys with a pickup truck to get her through the water. So I'm waiting by the phone. So I'm like, I want to be able to feel that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the very last pick, what they call the last pick in the draft?
Irrelevant, something like that?
Yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant?
As soon as they called Mr. Irrelevant, my phone rang. It was Oakland. You want to be a Raider? Yes, sir. All right, let's get it. You know, that was, even though I didn't get drafted and I got pushed out. Yeah. See, what really had happened was when Moss almost got pushed almost to the second round. It was late first round he got picked, but he almost went second round. Mm-hmm. Wherever you were projected, it pushed it trickled down. Yeah. So it pushed me. So, of course, if I got picked up from the Raiders from Union, what it would have been like if I would have played at UCF, what it would have been. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But I was still on.
Well, that's a good thing you went to Union over the Gators because that probably would have ruined your career.
I don't know, boy. Playing in that swamp, boy. And then I got my daddy here, so at the end of the day, I wasn't going to really do nothing too dumb or stupid.
Go ahead and name me 3 wide receivers from the Gators that did something in the NFL.
That did something? I mean, you might be a little biased. Riedel Anthony, Ike Hilliard.
Ike Hilliard did a little something. Riedel ain't did nothing. He just had a name.
The Caldwell boys.
Caldwell. One of them played for one of them did pretty good.
Played the Patriots.
Yeah, one of them.
That's the one that passed away. That got shot and killed in Tampa.
Yeah, he was okay. Ike Hilliard probably was he played with the Giants a while.
Jacquez Green, Jock. Yeah. Tampa.
Yeah, he had a little something. You know what I mean? They ain't like Seminoles, big time wide receivers from the Seminoles.
You know the Jackson boy, Willie Jackson?
No, I don't know none of them. We talking, you know what I mean?
We talking about receivers, bro.
You know what I mean? It ain't like
Who is we?
I'm a Seminole. Oh. You know how blows on the other side of the fence, you know?
Well, I wouldn't even. I'll wash my car with that shirt.
Look here. Now, if you all-time greats now, you can't stand a chance now.
Once again, if you a dog, Dion, dog.
Look
Mr. Peter,
look here.
dog.
You name
Charlie Ward, dog.
You name the Gators, the top wide receiver. Let's say we're gonna build a team, a Florida State Gator team. You give me your 4 wide receivers, I'm gonna give you Florida State secondary.
Boy, you got to understand, we came from the Air Tiger Spurrier now. We used to run the score up.
I don't
we ran the score up.
But you couldn't beat some of those still.
Hey, man.
Y'all
had y'all little era, we had our era.
I'm going to go Deion Sanders. I ain't even going to go Terrell Buckley and all them. You know who I'm going to go?
Who you going with?
I'm going to go P.J. Williams.
Oh, that's from the crib all day.
No, I'm going to go P.J.
You ain't doing nothing wrong. You ain't doing
and Deion Sanders.
You ain't doing nothing wrong. You got it, bro. We'll be here
then I'm going to go Greg Carr.
We'll be here all day. And you put no Cal on the map. So
you better believe it, baby.
It's all good.
So let's talk about Rank Up. How did it start? What gave you the idea, and what was the process to making it, the organization it is today?
Because of players like yourself, of other guys that played at Forest, Vanguard, North Marion that were dogs and then never got a good pro day or college or didn't get in college. I felt like once I left Kentucky, because Kentucky was left more of a basketball state. Mm-hmm. And when I moved back here in 2013, I told my dog, Clarence Mack, I said, Mac, I'm getting ready to come back and open up a showcase agency so I can, as guys that I know that were dogs, to be able to fight for them to get an extra opportunity. But it started in Kentucky. It was Precise Training. So it all started with performance training with athletes and personal training. That's how I really started Precise Training. And I brought that name back home to the crib. And in 2017, my very first showcase, Rudy Jacobs was there because Rudy scouted for Saskatchewan, Montreal, all those teams. Rudy got Grey Cup rings. So Rudy Jacobs inspired me also to move in this lane. Now that I'm not playing, I still wanted to be hands-on with training athletes, mentoring them, and helping them get to the league. And March 16th or 17th in 2017, it was Precise Training. We had plenty of athletes, and we also had it was another scout there. I can't even think of his name right now. But anyway, that's when I got struck by the bug with, okay, I want to start bringing teams and leagues here to look at athletes to try to help them extend their career. And we changed the name in 2019. Jasmine Hammond, young lady into sports. I met her at the very last workout for the true Tampa Bay Storm. She was the only female there. She and I were the only two scouts that they let in to watch their showcase. And then that was like the last showcase for the real true Tampa Bay Storm. And I ended up bringing on the board, Coach Emory Coleman, Emory old school. He played at Forest High School. And I think he had a little stint in the league a little bit. They were part of Rank Up when we first started.
So if you got an athlete that's watching this podcast and they want to be a part of Rank Up, how do they get in contact with you? How do they get involved and be one of the athletes that's being showcased?
Well, number one, we've grown tremendously from not only performance training for Rank Up. You want training, we got coaching staff for every position, include myself, that can work on your speed and agility. I even had the opportunity to subcontract Tony McCall to do some speed work for us by way with Eric Daly on the basketball side. So it's not just football for Rank Up with performance training, conditioning. It's a showcase agency. We've gotten over 60 guys signed professionally from the CFL on down. We haven't got anybody in the NFL yet. We're close. We're very close. But we've had probably a max of 6-7 guys signed CFL, UFL, XFL, and a crap load of different tiers of arena football and overseas. So to get in touch with Rank Up, Instagram, Rank Up Athletics, Facebook. We used to do the nutrition, the Rank Up Nutrition. So the website is under construction to get that back acclimated. But you can come up on the Tyrone Rhem on Facebook, or you can go to Rank Up Athletics on Facebook or IG. And we showcase guys. We play football games, and we bring the scouts to the games, or they'll stream live, and we'll give them a live roster of who they like. And then that's when they call me as the agent and the management team to be able to scout them out. And we've had a great success on helping, and college. We've had few guys in college. If kids need to go to college and don't get enough opportunity. Regis Woods, the infamous Regis Woods from Dunellen, and his son is a dog. He's looking for more offers. So we got a subcontract by the name of Carlton Griffin from Ocala, went to Vanguard. See, that's one thing about us, man. I like to always give somebody a job or hook somebody up from the crib and from Ocala before I would go elsewhere. Right, if you're in that lane, I believe in that. Correct. So he's made already from Get It From the Mud recruiting, but he helps us as well to recruit college kids as well. Got to give a shout out to the administrative side of Rank Up Athletics. Bobby Saunders is my cousin, is from West Virginia. Genius, very structured. He helped me transition from being an actual coach, trainer to the CEO realm, but he's the administration of Rank Up and handling all the paperwork. I do what I do to bring everything together, the politicking, certain investors and partners, the networking, and I bring all that together, which brings us to January 31st of this year. We got scouts from pretty much every level. It's an invitational only. Rank Up has been able to help guys that played in the league before revamp themselves.
So if it's a player that's, whether he played high school, didn't go to college, or whether he played 2 years of college and didn't finish his career, how can they? So anyone can call you for this. Anyone who feel like they still have a future, they have something left in the tank, have a chance to call you. And as far as this January the 31st, how can they receive an invitation? How can they get on your radar to receive an invitation to this event?
Give me a call. I'm the CEO. I deal with all the personnels, all the scouting guys, the GMs on all leagues. I deal with them personally. And, it's politics and everything. So if you have representation in any league, it looks better. It's a lot better than coming out to a tryout, going blind. You don't have any representation. But the way we would do things, we'll bring in 10 to 20 guys from Rank Up to represent them. And I'm hands-on with the GMs and the personnels, and I'm paying attention. Oh, Rhem, this is one of you guys? So it gives them a little bit more edge and advantage. You still got to get it from the muscle and do it yourself. But Rank Up comes in to where we represent them. If guys like you're saying that hadn't had any ball in a couple of years, we'll get them in a pro showcase game, a scouting showcase game. We played teams like Team USA, some teams from overseas professionally. We try to find the best quality. We just played Huntsville Astros from IFA, which is a good team. My little cousin Robert Rhem, coming from college, he had his pro day, NFL pro day, but he's with Rank Up, and we've helped him get in professionally with the Huntsville Astros. Now he has a shot possibly at the UFL as of today right now. So we showcase football games to get them film. Some guys don't have film. Some guys don't have analytics or metrics. We do the testing. We do pro days. And that's what this is going to be on January 31st.
Because you got certain athletes, you got people like Clinton Hart. He didn't even go to college.
No.
This guy just out there throwing a football around and throwing a baseball, and hey, who is you? And kind of, hey, you know what I mean? So you can see it, and when you're a talent evaluator, you just see the it factor. Some people just have that it factor. What are you looking for when you see you got 50 young men in front of you? I mean, what is it that sticks out? I mean,
well, the eye test, number one, you're going to look at the athlete. For instance, wide receiver Joe Robustelli, ended up meeting him. He's from Sarasota, Florida, basically from the streets. Okay. Someone got in contact, one of his friends got in contact and said, hey, Rhem, I want you to look at my partner. And I talked to Joe. He only played high school football. Listen, one of the baddest white boys I've ever seen in the country. And I'm not exaggerating. You know how I tested to know that he's one of the baddest? I called up Rudy Jacobs. Rudy Jacobs gonna give it to you blood raw.
Yeah.
I said, you already know what Beetlejuice is, who Remy Wood is. You know that, right? You know that's that. I'm not saying he's Juice, but this white guy right here, boy, one of the freakiest things since Rick James.
You lined him up against Rhem? Robert?
Robert Rhem. Robert did cover him a couple times at the, I think at one of the Saskatchewan Rough Rider tryouts. He had to see what was going down. Hey, Robert Rhem that bloodline is real, bro. Yeah. Honestly. But we took Joe Robustelli. When I saw him, 2% body fat, if any, yoked up, hadn't worked out. And guess what his first workout that we gave him, very first time, he worked out in front of the New England Patriots in Lakeland, Florida, Southeastern University. And we gave 80 guys an opportunity, which, some people think you bluffing. Man, you ain't woo. Patriots came out there and worked out every athlete that was out there for an opportunity for mini camp or OTAs. And the kid ran a 4.58 twice without training. We got him trained, coached him up. We took him to the CFL workouts. The very first CFL workout with the Edmonton Elks he murked everything out there. His separation, phenomenal. Speed, He got his speed down to 4.38 in front of Saskatchewan.
I mean, I could see the excitement in your eyes as you talk about this young man.
Rudy Jacobs, going back to Rudy, I say Rudy. He ain't Steve Rhem, but boy, listen, that's one of the baddest white boys in the planet.
He might not be Steve Rhem, but he's Steve.
Hey,
Steve
ask Rudy Jacobs about Joe Robustelli. Freakish, and he just won his first Grey Cup in his second year. We got him a 3-year deal, Saskatchewan Rough Riders, 3 years, and his second year as a pro. Dreams come true, and he's one of those from Rank Up that definitely helped put us on the map, which the other ones from Tyler Bird, played at the University of Tennessee. We helped over a lot of guys get, like I said, we've got over 60-some guys signed to professional contracts in college.
And how does that make you feel, when you set out, when you had this vision, when you set out, this is a young man that was, not saying on the street, but just a, quote unquote, the average Joe Blow that, may not play past high school, but like you say, he's walking around the streets 2% body fat. You understand what I'm saying? So it's discipline there all along. How does it feel to see that through Rank Up Athletics, you had the opportunity to help change this man's life and his family's life,
That's what it's all about. And I go back to my daddy of how he took care of his family and the morals. I told my daddy, I said, Daddy, boy, I got one of the baddest. I don't want to put the color on it, but it is what it is.
But the bottom line, it's rare.
It's rare
to have that athleticism.
Blue-eyed soul.
Yeah.
Blue-eyed soul. No tattoos, clean cut, pretty boy. But it's
you'll walk right by him.
No, you ain't gonna walk by him. But it's just the fact that he's that guy. So what we have to teach these guys is how to be professional. Don't be on your social media with weed and with your lighter hanging from your pocket. You're held accountable. You're not gonna do these things and represent Rank Up like that. In the business world, being a boss, you're gonna take some L's. I've taken L's. You know what I'm saying? On the business side, I had to learn certain things when I failed. That's the only way we're going to become a boss. We're going to have to fall sometime to make us stronger. So what we have to do is with these guys as mentors, hey, man, clean up your social media. Semi-pro, we give a certain percentage of an opportunity because there are some guys out there that can play that need a platform to play. But realistically, you got to start from the cream of the crop. You got to come out of college to get the best opportunity. But you can come through us through the back door and the side door. Now, there's athletes that come straight out of college that don't have representation. Mm-hmm. I also work with a top-notch agent by the name of Alonzo Shavers. Been around since 1997, NBA and NFL scout. He's also subcontract through Rank Up as well to be able to further guys that on a higher scale in the NFL, which that's what we're striving for. We're this close from getting a couple guys from to the NFL. Okay,
so do you have a website or outside of social media, do you have a website or a phone number someone can call to get in contact with you?
You can always, like I said, you can go to Facebook on the Tyrone Rhem or Rank Up Athletics to reach us, or you can go to Instagram or Rank Up Athletics. Take a look at all the work that we've done and accomplishments we've had in the past. Thanking God for that. Of the growth. They take us very seriously now. You know how hard it is? You got to build with the type of talent and athletes to get certain leagues to take your agency serious. It's it was a lot of hard work, and it's really paying off.
And you were based where at again?
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida. That's the base.
You need training, performance training. You need anything as far as academics. We have tutors. Working with guys, learning the X's and O's of the games. We do seminars on certain Saturdays.
Whiteboard.
Because a lot of guys don't understand it. So it's like a professional collegiate showcase agency to give you that's why it's called Rank Up Athletics. We're not semi-pro. We're a professional collegiate showcase agency. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the hardest things and barriers we had to break to take very seriously. Like, we got dogs, 6'6", 6'7" receivers to you name it. Like,
you got a pretty good quarterback that's coming down the pipeline, correct?
We got a quarterback from Akron. He's in Atlanta, Georgia, played at the University of Akron. He came out the class with Penix and all those guys,
Mm-hmm.
and the 5th game of the season, he tore his ACL, and that kept him out of the draft. And so he rehabbed. I think when it did come to his pro day, he got to probably about 75, 80%. He didn't do the 40. Did well, but at that time, the injury.
Yeah, yeah.
But he broke and went to Spain, the first quarterback to throw over 3,000 yards and rush for 1,000 in Europe in the top-notch EFL league with Spain. Killed it. Now he's got a shot now with the NFL coming back, CFL and the UFL. So he will be throwing out there January 31st at Wesley Chapel, which you will be helping us out there at TLC Sports with the interviews to be a part of the big pro venue that we got.
So it's a strong possibility. My Dolphins act like they don't want tour no more. So you think this man can help these Dolphins turn this thing around?
I'm not gonna be biased. I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat it. It's not a game. We take this very seriously. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, man, like, not saying you got people from your hometown that don't understand what you do. Eric Daly and I talk about this with his business and company all the time. When we come here and try to put on a showcase in a venue, we've had some hiccups in the road paperwork-wise. We do this professionally all over the country, Atlanta, Alabama, to everywhere where we showcase these pro athletes to get seen to have an opportunity to go pro or collegiate. And it's kind of hard when people from your hometown don't understand, you know what I'm saying? So I guess in due time when God gonna open up that door so we can run out. You go to a Bucs game, we're gonna run our venue just like that. We don't have the capital the NFL has,
right? But
we're gonna have vendors, or I'm gonna reach out to people in the city to come in and set up to make some money, sell some fashion, and you get a chance to see professionalism on a whole nother level. See, everybody want to see you when the lava is already running at the top of the volcano. Nobody want to be down there when the magma is down there boiling in the crust, in the mantle.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's a status quo world. You just got to keep pushing.
Oh, I understand this, bro. I'm dead serious. I've been a Dolphin fan from day one, and we ain't won nothing yet. We don't have the great Dan Marino and everything else.
You'll get a chance to see him throw it and spin it January 31st.
So I tell you what, this part of the episode, we're going to do something called fill in the blank. I'm going to ask you some questions. You ask them quickly, precisely, to the point. The first thing come to mind is no right or wrong.
Correct.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I've always wanted to
have longevity in the NFL.
I love when someone
doubts me.
If I had to do it all over again, I would.
Childhood.
My favorite holiday is
Thanksgiving.
If I had to create one law that everyone had to follow, it would be
not to. That's a tough one there, brother. As far as a law base, I want to pass on that one.
Ginger or Marianne from Gilligan's Island?
Ginger.
Jennifer Hudson or Fantasia?
Boy, that's tough. Go ahead and give me J Hood.
Randy Moss or Terrell Owens?
Moss all day.
Brandon Marshall or Justin Jefferson?
I'm going to go with Brandon.
Stephen Bourne, Dante Culpepper.
Come on, man. You would do that. Both of my guys got a chance to pat that thing with both of them, man. Stephen Bourne is definitely, he's a trooper, under the radar, but I got to go with my bro, not being biased, but got to go with bro, Culpepper.
My favorite holiday is?
My favorite holiday was Thanksgiving.
It aggravates me when people
take your kindness for a weakness.
The best quality someone can have is?
Just being respectful. Just respect others.
My childhood crush was
Childhood crush. Oh. Kenyatta, what's her name? Kenyatta,
Kenyatta Leach.
yeah.
Ooh, I remember her. If I had to travel anywhere in the world, it would be.
Anywhere in the world. I would love to see Africa.
My favorite movie is.
Oh, man. There's so many of them. Let's go Which Way Is Up, Richard Pryor. I'm old head.
Miami Hurricanes of Florida State.
I'll take the U over State any day, even though I don't like them either.
If I had to go back to any age, it would be.
Teenager.
Jesus is.
Jesus is the light. Jesus is everything.
When I first meet someone, the first thing I notice is what?
I go by faith because I'm very strong in Jesus Christ. So I go by the discernment of what the Spirit runs through God to pretty much with that person, individual, the spirit of that person, the Spirit.
If I had to ask God one question, it would be.
Is my name in the book of life?
My greatest strength is.
Humanitarian, helping others.
My greatest weakness is.
Greatest weakness. I know it's kind of like Superman kryptonite. My greatest weakness, which I've overcome, used to be a ladies' man.
The biggest misconception about Tyrone Rhem is what?
That I'm arrogant.
I'm a pretty good fellow, but I draw a line in the sand if you.
You cross my family.
If I had to star in a movie with any actress, it would be.
Actress or the actor?
Actor.
Probably Denzel.
Okay, this is a part of the show. It's called AMA, where you, Tyrone Rhem, get to ask me, William Robinson, anything.
All right, Mr. William Robinson. We kind of talked a little bit. I knew you were into music back in the day. Mm-hmm. Your testimony means a lot to me, and through everything you've gone through, even though from us with rivalries to anything that we may have gone through in life, with your situation, what you went through, how did you deal with how did you get through the incarceration part of it psychologically, to know that you had to sit down and lay down for a while and to be able to help others learn from what you've gone through?
Jesus. It's just, and the way I think, my mind frame is just, you make the best of every situation.
Right.
Like, I'm really big on control what you can control.
Correct.
I'm a very accountable person, so this is the bottom line, to make the best of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was going 18. Like, I only been home 4 years, man.
And you were gone for how long?
18.
Jeez.
And sometimes that blows my mind for me to realize I've been going 18. I only been home 4 years, and look at
crazy.
all that I've done and accomplished, relationships, experiences, and to know that I was gone for 18 years blows my mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it doesn't do it seem like I was gone 18 years? No, to me, because I just live every day. I'm a very focused person. I don't worry about what I can't control. I'm only concerned with what's in front of me.
Right.
So when I wake up that day, you live and you survive today. Tomorrow take care of itself.
Correct.
I can't change yesterday. So Jesus helped me with that mind frame.
That's the nucleus of it all. We can't do nothing without Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. And in this world where it's a real spiritual warfare and a battle, because you can easily get back into doing whatever and go back. But I'm quite sure, like today's youth, talking to them really don't work for them. They have to go through it.
Yeah.
That's the sad part about with our youth, because I work with kids every day. I don't want to carry no more caskets in Ocala and Tampa, Florida with these kids. It's a certain way. So God gives me, I pray for a strong discernment. I pray for God to come through me to I deal with demons every day, just like you do. We walk past people that we think are actual human beings, and those are demonic forces that you do. That's why I pray for a strong discernment. When you come across my mind and God be like, call Big Pete, call William Robinson, I'm going to call you because that's what he's instilled in me.
And see, you said something, discernment, and like I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't go to church.
I understand.
What was great about my situation is the Bible. I learned the Bible in a room by myself. See, I wasn't influenced by anyone. I got the word for the word's sake. And I believe that a lot of things that's being taught in the church ain't right. You know what I mean? It's a hidden agenda. You understand what I'm saying? And when you have that discernment, you see it for what it is. And for me not to be disruptive and quote unquote disrespectful, I stay away from some of that. You understand what I'm saying? Because God is within you.
Right.
The Bible tells us not to forsake the assembly of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's the fellowship with them. You know what I mean? But it's just certain things that's being taught. I believe the Bible, but I don't believe what's being taught nowadays. Because a lot of time it's more business. Like
it is.
It's more about business and things of that nature, and it's feel good.
We got to find that relationship with God, because at the end of the day, it's about the eternal.
But there's no accountability. It's all feel good. Everyone goes to church to feel better. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. No pastor's gonna look at their congregation in the face and say you're wrong. Don't do that, because everyone's so easily offended.
Because they're getting funding and stuff from certain areas. They don't want to lose that bridge.
Let me tell you something. It hurts me so bad. One time I seen I think it was Oprah was interviewing the lead pastors, Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, all these people. And they asked them, she asked one question: is homosexuality a sin? And to see them people dance around their answer, man, it hurt me to my heart. And I said to myself, oh, T.D. Jakes finna give it to him. Oh, T.D. Jakes finna give it to him. Man, that man sat up there and weasel his way around that, dog. That thing hurt me to my heart, dog. You know what I'm saying?
That's why everybody's gonna be held accountable. If you're in that position of one of God's chosen ones to lead the sheep, you can't withhold information from people and be afraid. See, it's a system. They're scared of the system.
Yeah.
You should be scared of the man who made everybody. Everybody fear other people but him.
Everybody but. I remember it's like the church is bowing down to the world.
To the world.
Rather than the world bowing down to the church.
Yeah.
It's a situation where you got a relative that's gay, whatever. He want to dress up as a woman, but grandmother is a Christian. Grandma been in church all her life. So grandma got a birthday party. he wants to come dressed like that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to, the other family members don't want to say nothing because his mama be offended, which is their sister.
Mm-hmm.
So you rather offend God and your mama worrying about what your sister gonna say.
Well, that's what people gonna find out.
You understand what I'm saying?
I know
when
exactly.
you know he did wrong, you know what I mean, and you calling him or her and all these things. See, certain things, you not mind my business, but that's why a lot of topics I don't speak on.
Yeah, correct.
Because you don't want, the world can't handle the truth. I got a button right here. I hit that button and say, "You want the truth?" You can't handle the truth. A lot of people can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They get so easily offended. But when it comes to right or wrong, it don't matter if you offended. I never forget. I was reading the Bible and Jesus had done performed the miracle. And his disciples say, the scribes and the Pharisees was talking that junk,
Mm-hmm.
See, when you read the Bible, I visualize it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm visual.
I'm visual. I see it. And they say, "Well, Lord, don't you know the scribes and the Pharisees was offended at your sin?" But Jesus was straight cut though. Jesus had to be black. You know what I mean? The word when he come back at people, he was black. Jesus say, "Every tree that my Father did not plant shall be pulled up and uprooted."
You got to build that relationship, man. And at the end of the day, you're going to find out what type of relationship you're going to have. See, that's the thing with me right now. My thing is when someone passes away is where they're going to spend eternal life.
Yeah.
And my partner, which is like a brother that you may interview one time, Officer Chapman with Pastor Billy Chapman. And we witnessed to a lot of those kids like that. It's public school-wise, you ain't really supposed to do all that. But we know.
Yeah.
We ask God, for instance, we're part of FCA with Rank Up. Even when we train, we pray before and after.
What do you mean FCA?
Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Okay.
They back me on a lot of things because I have a huddle that I run. So we're not going to pray before we do a workout or a trial. I mean, we're going to pray before these things and after because that's who we believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So we had some Muslim kids that I was training that we would pray. And I'm like, God, how am I going to handle this situation with these kids? And I do respectfully ask and tell them who we believe in. If you don't want to partake and participate, you're more than welcome to step out.
Of the prayer.
Out of the prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So I respect everybody. And at the end of the day, I was like, how am I going to handle these with these Muslim kids and all these other people, their beliefs? I said, God, you got to help me take the wheel. Man, them kids prayed. They stayed right there in the paint with us. I didn't forcefully do it, but I'm not afraid to acknowledge Jesus Christ because at the end of the day, they ridiculed Jesus Christ. He told the disciples they're going to go through the same thing.
Yeah.
So who are you going to fear? God is the one that's over hell. So at the end of the day, it's about eternal life for me. So I want to be able to have that relationship or tell somebody about God. Because that's what we're supposed to do. And I won't speak all the time. It'll be some times I'm in that classroom at Greco Middle School. It's strictly business. But when them kids cutting up with them different demonic spirits coming in, they coming from the streets weird, God be like, handle that, Ty. And I can't stop.
Yeah. And see, that's the difference. See, you're saying something that's a lot of people don't get. See, people looking at the flesh, meaning that kid. Oh, he's 13. Don't talk to my son. I ain't talking to your son, ma'am. I'm talking to the spirit. It's in your son at the time.
Or your daughter.
See, or your daughter. That's right. And see, people don't get it. See, people don't. Some people read to read, and some people read to obtain knowledge, to study. That's why the Bible says study to show thyself approved.
But they're not comprehending.
They're not comprehending. Remember the story where Jesus, the man was in his tomb cutting himself up. And the man saw Jesus from way off. He said, "Hey, you come to torment me before all the time." Jesus told him, "Shh, running that mouth," you know what I'm saying? And Jesus asked him, "Well, quiet, what's your name?" And he said, "We are legion, for we are many." Mm-hmm. My name is Legion, for we are many. The demon was talking. Mm-hmm. See, to the people, it looked like the man said that.
Physical.
But the demons were talking through Jesus, through the man, And Jesus commanded the demons to come out of the man. And said, and the demons that Jesus, well, can we go into those herd of swines over there? And when they did, the swines ran off the cliff and drowned themselves. Mm-hmm. See, that's what the spirit want to do to the man, mm-hmm. but the grace of God.
No, the grace of God.
The Bible says mercy and grace come through Jesus Christ. See, everybody don't want to, everybody wants, see, you know, people say Jesus is their Lord and Savior. Mm-hmm. See, everybody want the Savior, but they don't want the Lord.
Right.
See, the Savior, just save me. Don't let me go to hell, save me from this situation. But they don't want the Lord. Lord mean ruler. They don't want to do what he say. You know, make me turn into the old pastor.
It's all good. We can't judge nobody. We just have to trust in God. God working with everybody. You got some people got a mustard seed of faith. You got some people got the faith of a mountain, mm-hmm. or in between. So we can't worry about that as human beings. But whatever way God use us, let him use us for that moment.
See, you know, the Bible said one man planteth, one man watereth, but God gives the increase. That's why, like, every word is a seed being planted in someone's life. Absolutely. So when you work with those kids and you encourage them when they're acting out, you don't respond the way the world responds. And you pull them to the side with kindness and drop a little seed with it. Because I'm going to tell you something. You know in the Bible where it says we get to heaven, you know, he's going to wipe away all the tears from our eyes. No, I think that comes from when you're going to see all the times that Miss Anna Mae was trying to tell you something. All the times God came to you through people. And dang, man, I ain't see that. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to hurt you like, dang, man, they was trying to help me. You know what I mean? And all those seeds being planted in your life. And I just think that our job is to do what we supposed to do. Because there's so many people tried to reach me, but I had to take my dumb behind the prison. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
I just had to sit down. I don't think I had to go to prison, but I had to sit still. But the devil tried to give me everything I wanted. Man, you was talking about some things I used to do before, you know what I'm saying? You didn't even know that. You were like, well, dang, you know what I'm saying? But I'm out here doing these things and you doing because I've never applied myself, Tyrone, to anything and not been successful. You know what I mean?
I'm pulling for you, man. You're a big advocate of Ocala. You're the voice, the new voice. You know we used to have WMIM, the underground.
WMIM.
I feel like you're the new WMIM Ocala. And what people got to understand is you're in the media. Mm-hmm. And everybody's not going to like what you're going to say.
Especially when it's the truth.
And if it's the truth, but they have to learn how to separate the business side from knowing the person. And a lot of people don't. That's what I tell you with my daddy. My daddy knew how to separate the personal from the business.
But see, people, the world is so sensitive now. The world is sensitive. It's like we're aliens. When you keep it real, you are alien amongst humans. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Correct. And it's just like when I greeted you in the hallway, you say, Tick Bayless. And what I said to you?
Tick Bayless?
No.
What'd you say?
I say, nah, I'm TLC right now. You know what I'm saying? Because this perfect. You know what I'm saying? That. The Tick Bayless, the sports show, you know, my job is to, you know, you keep it, you know what I'm saying? Keep it going, you know, the Tick Bayless thing.
I respect it. I've been, since I've gotten to know what you're doing, you know I've been with you and still, because I want to see growth in us. Never been a hater a day in my life. Never been jealous of what the next man has. You never gonna get that.
I remember it was actually last year this time, I released Yancey interview. And I had seen you time or two at the games or whatever.
Right.
And I don't know how you got my number, but you called me. And when I seen the name, I don't got your phone number. We had exchanged numbers. That's how we got. Right. So when I seen your name in the phone, I'm jokingly, I'm like, yeah, I got to interview Yancey to get you to call me. And you instantly were like, my bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's you know what I mean? It's love. But ever since that day, we've been a staple in each other's life. You know what I'm saying? Because you just, you know what I mean? And that's what this is about.
It is.
I can interview 100 people, but until it relates to you, you may watch from a distance. But when it personalized, when you can personalize with that, that's like when your son see this, he may follow me because that's his dad.
Absolutely.
That was your coach. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it's certain things. So it's all about relationships, man.
I just want the world to understand that everybody make mistakes, but to see where you've come from, give you your flowers. I think a lot of people see what you're doing and understand, like, you keep the glue going. You know, we were raised from a different cloth from how the youngsters are today, so we can relate. Everybody, you relate to everybody, and that's what people have to understand. But you have your opinion, you know, and some people may not like it, but the world is soft. They do have thin skin right now. They can't take it.
But I ask them, I say, if Tick told you a lie, call in and tell me the lie. I ain't got a phone call yet.
Come on, man.
You know, when they say, well, you ain't have to say it like that. You can say it different. Ain't number one way to say it is the quickest way to the touch to the end zone is in a straight line. All them sweeps look good, but ain't nothing like dead in the mouth, man. Yeah. Right in the mouth. I was out there watching Hawthorne play Donilla. And, man, that man went straight up that two-hole, man, untouched.
Out of there.
Straight to the end zone. The shortest way there. He ain't had to fake nobody out, do nothing. I mean, straight wide open, man.
Keep doing your thing, bro. I'm proud of you.
I feel you. And this the last part of the episode, man. It's called Final Thoughts. You're going to look directly into this camera over my shoulder, and you're going to give the world your final thoughts. You're going to give them one more time how they get in contact with Rank Up and everything you got going on, bro.
Final thoughts is, number one, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is the head of my life. Not perfect by any means, not hypocritical, but at the same time, I want to be able to help God come through me to help others just as well as others I can learn from others. I want to say happy heavenly birthday to my dad, Jesse Rhem Jr. Today, didn't realize this day was going to be this interview on your birthday, Daddy, but I love you. Our family, we miss you. I love my mom, Joella Rhem, my sisters, my siblings, all my siblings, my wife, my son. We just want to be able to touch the youth, to keep them in the straight and narrow. God give me strength to be able to withstand, to help a lot of youngsters all the way to adults, and that he cover us, and that TLC Sports, you keep doing what you're doing, and that God have mercy on us in 2026 this year. Have mercy.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That was the final thoughts of the one and only great Tyrone Rhem, man. You know what I mean? Right here, one Ocala's finest, man. A self-proclaimed super night. I'm about to go check that board, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, go ahead.
But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, William Robertson of TLC Talk Love and Communication, ladies and gentlemen. This been a very special episode of my story right here at TLC Talk Love Communication Studios with Tyrone Rhem, Rank Up Athletics, ladies and gentlemen, out of Tampa, Florida. We doing big things, man. If you don't went to high school, you think you still got the juice. If the juice still pumping through your veins, give him a call. Rank Up Athletics, ladies and gentlemen. You in Tampa, Florida. Matter of fact, anywhere in the United States of America, Rank Up Athletics is the organization to get you on the path to greatness, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, we only got one life to live. It's a whole lot easier with love and communication. You can donate to this channel at Cash App. Anybody love you with a U, PayPal, Robinson74William at gmail.com. Zelle 352-209-3306. And remember, anybody told you they love you today, William Robinson loves you. We out.
Salute.